I get these questions on my page so much, or like, how do I afford my lifestyle? What do I do for work? I get those all the time. It's really hard to answer, but I'm gonna try to explain to you how I got here in under 3 minutes. So this is the beginning. This is me leaving my parents' house right when I turned 18, clearly in a hurry. Wasn't really having a good time, so I left, and I didn't have a car, and I didn't have any money, and I was a hostess making $7.25 an hour, and I moved in with my boyfriend of 2 days. Also, people used to say my picture looked like Natalie Portman and Leon the Professional, which, yeah. We moved into this barn, and the rent was $200 a month, and we still could not afford that. And we ate potatoes, only potatoes, for 2 years. 5 potatoes a day. We looked so bad, but that's all we could afford. We lived in Good, Virginia, which is in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I was hostessing at the time and convinced my work to let me move up to serving so I'd be able to make a little bit more money. Once I had some serving experience, I moved to Big Sky Ski Resort in Montana and did some seasonal work. I worked at the Huntley Hotel for the winter and served. And I lived in these dorms. I think the rent was like $600 a month. Seasonal jobs are really good for being able to make really quick cash. And I was able to afford a down payment on a car, which was what I needed really bad. After Montana, I moved back to Virginia and moved into this tobacco mansion, and I lived in this apartment. It was $600, and then I ended up moving to the very top floor, which was 3 bedrooms, and it was only $700. I also had raccoons living on my roof, and I'd feed them every day. And I was 19 at this point, and this is when I started my Etsy shop, so I was doing Etsy and serving. I was still struggling a lot financially, but I was hanging in there. I also worked and lived in a hostel in Inverness, Scotland for a little bit, and that was pretty cool. And then I moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, where I live now, and I've lived in this barn apartment for 4 years. I found it on Craigslist. It took me about a month to find it. I was looking at some other places too that were similar. As you can tell, I've never lived in an actual apartment. You just gotta you just gotta think outside the box and look in weird places, and you can find cool shit. But my rent is $1,000 a month, with utilities is probably like $1,300. And then I'm a bartender, I'm a content creator, and I have my Etsy shop. My biggest life advice would just be to do whatever the hell you want to do. Don't wait for anyone to show you how to do stuff. YouTube, Google, and live intentionally.